This is another one I wrote recently. Of course, because of some things that I was going through. It's called I Couldn't Live Without Love. I just drank a bottle of bleach to cleanse my soul. Tiptoeing through the indiscretions of life has left me invalid and hollow, and the only road I know how to follow is the one I was previously on, which leaves me insane because I'm doing the same thing twice. At night, I piss my brain with imagery. Fuck dreaming, I think in connotations of a visionary. What's scary is my premonitions of mercenary affiliations through hallucinations of love. Why is it that that's all my brain can think of? I read books to fill it with knowledge and it's turned to mush. Because my heart, of course, is a solid vessel that keeps it from being pushed. But fuck feeling like a victim, I'm emotionally broke. And I bleed pain through my veins with the inner sanctum of the change I promised I would make if she loved me right. But she didn't, so I'm worse off than when I started, right? Leaving the dearly departed to fight over my soul as it enters the light because it has nowhere to go. I told her that if she dropped the brink of control, I would die, and this bleach isn't killing me fast enough. So I put a gun to my head to stop the crying. Maybe the bullets will puncture the part of my brain that does the lying, and I can finally be honest with myself on my way to hell and tell my heart that it wasn't really worth it. Unless she catches me mid-breath and proves to me that she was also hurting. And that pain she could never alleviate herself from did most of the dirty work, and she was also flirting with the disastrous feeling of never being enough, so why try? An excuse laid plain against the tears in my eye because my best was all I knew how to give. And if she couldn't produce the same, then why should I live? A hard enough task to do without the beating of my heart. I couldn't imagine tricking myself into breathing, because my last breath was reminiscent of me leaving. And me believing I could do this without love was just as tricky as her thinking she could do it without my touch. So to hurt her as she hurt me, I cut off my ring finger before I leave and dare her to find another place to put my ring. I rewrote the vows and brought a new meaning to death do us part. And death, my part, was played by the absence of my heart. I left it on her pillow next to the tears and the fears and the consistent I'll be there's I hung onto as they flowed from the tips of her lips, tasting like bullshit when we kissed, so she didn't have to be alone. It's flowing through my soul, the poisonous aftermath of a charmingless outlash I wish I could regret but hold on to as I dip into my last breath, trying to conjure up memories of when we first met and everything seemed to be as it always was. She held me close and I felt as protected as I should, never thinking that her grasp would last as long as I could. Never thinking that would end as fast as it has, but as I swallowed the remaining drops of her grief-written apologies, wiped the corner of my lip with her guilt-filled ideologies, I pull a trigger and remember that no other love could have been as sweet. And if this was the best of the rest, there's no reason for me to breathe.